It's Saturday night, it's just gone 20 past 6, and it's hockey night in the hangar. As the TSI World Berkshire Bees look to bounce back from a disappointing defeat in the shootout to the Milton Keynes Lightning on Sunday, as they welcome the Sheffield Steeldogs to town for the first time in the 2024-2025 season. These two teams met up in Sheffield earlier in the year, the Bees going down 7-2 despite at one point leading 2-1 on the night. The Steeldogs, they're flying high at the moment in third in the table, and they'll be looking to carry on a good run of form. I've seen them win 6 of the last 9 games. Here is the table as it stands going into tonight. The Steeldogs, as I say, sit third. They've played a game more than the Milton Keynes Lightning and the Leeds Knights, but only 3 points behind the 3 points behind the Leeds Knights, 4 behind the Milton Keynes Lightning. 11 wins from 22 so far for the men from Yorkshire. The Bees sit at the bottom, the same number of games played as the Steeldogs, just the 4 wins, 13 points on the board at the moment. Like I said, they were down in a shootout to the Milton Keynes Lightning last Sunday. This comes off the back of beating the Swindon Wildcats here in a shootout the week before. So 3 shootouts in a row, possible chance. Producer Nick, to my right, somewhat hoping there isn't. The Bees will be hoping that they can turn around the quite frankly awful goals for column as they sit 16 goals behind the next closest in the Bristol Pitbulls with only 52 goals in 22 games. Well, your lineups for this evening for the Berkshire Bees is becoming something of a regularity at the moment of being short benched. Tonight, it's 11 plus 2 again. They line up 5 Ollie Nags, 9 Vanya Antonov, 15 Ty Cathcart, 16 Adam Erskine, 19 Will Stead, 21 Marcel Balaz, 23 Dominic Gamay, 24 Dan Rose, 71 Josh Kelly, 74 Liam Morris, 94 Stuart Mogg. Netminders 42 Max Wright and 45 Dean Skins. Not icing for the Bees tonight. Adam Rossbottom still out injured, hopefully back in the next few weeks. Hallam Wilson also still out injured, that one sadly a bit more long term. Josh Smith hopefully is back soon as well for the Bees. Roman Cathcart and Preston Toombs are with the Streatham Redhawks tonight. Ollie Hemmings-Mayer with the Slough Jets down in Solent. For our visitors, the Sheffield Steeldogs, they're missing a few players of their own, but they still come pretty well strength with 18 and 2. Brady Doxey, number 5, 6 Ben Morgan, 8 Walker Sommer, 9 Tom Barry, 15 Aidan Dancer, 17 Jacob Brammer, 18 Sam Tremblay, 20 Jonathan Phillips, 22 Ollie Turner, 29 Nathan Ripley, 36 Henry Adams, 37 Elmeri Halfors, 42 Tim Smith, 43 Sam Cooper, 71 Jack Branner, 72 Ivan Bjorkley-Nordstrom, 90 Jonathan Kirk, 98 Tate Shudra, netminders 30 Ben Norton and 31 Dan Crow. Obviously not icing from the list that I've got anyway. Ben Kurtz, not icing, no Morgan Clark Pizzo for the Steeldogs tonight, and no Finley Ulrich either. Obviously I do have confirmation. I'm going to imagine Finley Ulrich is probably icing for the Steelers tonight against the Nottingham Panthers in the Elite League. Speaking of games elsewhere, obviously not so much in the Elite League. We do have the National League. We'll be updating this through the night. Producer Nick will be frantically helping me out by updating it during the games, hopefully. Elsewhere, starting at 6:30 tonight, at the same time as us, the Swindon Wildcats take on the Romford Raiders. The Leeds Knights welcome the Telford Tigers to town, and obviously here, as the Steeldogs take to the ice behind us. And at 7 o'clock, the Milton Keynes Lightning at home to the Solway Sharks, the Bristol Pitbulls at home to the Hull Seahawks, with the Peterborough Phantoms having the night off. Your officials for the evening, as I make sure Nick's on his toes. In the Water Wings of Power, Mr. Roy Hamilton and Mr. Craig Williams. Linesman, Mr. Flick Cunningham and Miss Amy Pryor. So, the Steeldogs in Slough for the first time this, well, season. I almost said year, but obviously that's not true. They'll be looking to continue their good run of form. Obviously, quite hard not to look at players like Sam Tremblay, who has been such a hit with the Steelers in the CHL and with the Steeldogs in the National League. Walker Sommer as well. Again, you can always pick out the imports of both teams. Dan Crow, as you can see there, is going to start in net for the Steeldogs. It was good to see Ben Norton back on the ice, at least in a backup role. just await Max Wright and the Bees for tonight's game. The clock ticks to 3 minutes to go. We'll be trying something new tonight. We'll be bringing you a version, we'll be telling you more about that at the end of the second period. For those watching on the stream, you can get involved. At least we hope so. There's a lot of pressure on your heads later. Just see Max Wright is ready and waiting to go. I feel like I've made the same comment the last 2 weeks, Nick, about how we always seem to be late for the start of games, and yet we've only got 13 players. You think with less players we'll be out quicker. So a big night in the hangar. As always, the Bees look to take down another of the top four. They came close to doing it against the Lightning last week. They did do the Wildcats. They have done the Leeds Knights here at home this season. Sheffield will need to be wary of the potential banana skin. Ignore the Christmas trees and the thrones in the background, by the way. That's for the Christmas panto in a couple of weeks' time here at the hangar. So you look at the banner that's in front of us here in the culture booth, December 13th to the 15th, this is our Ice Arena. Nick, of course, will be coming along because there's nothing else to do that weekend. As Max Wright leads the Bees out for tonight's game. We'll be back with you in about 2 minutes' time following the national anthem for puck drop on period number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand as we play the national anthem.
Well, it's almost time for your Saturday night's main event. Starting netminders for both teams. Firstly, for the home side, the TSI World Berkshire Bees. Max Wright gets the start in net. He's 20 starts this season. He's 5, 12 and 3. A 908 save percentage, a 3.81 goals against average in 1,213 minutes in the crease. At the other end for the Sheffield Steeldogs, it's number 31, Daniel Crowe, who gets the start in net. He has made 9 starts so far for the Steeldogs. 6-3-0 in that time, a 908 save percentage, and a 3.31 goals against average. So very almost read that the wrong way round. Well, two teams that pride themselves on being defensive at the moment. The Bees obviously under strength, seem to have stumbled on a style of hockey that has worked, especially here in the hangar. Steeldogs well known for their physical defence. I'm not going to promise you the prettiest game tonight, I'm not going to promise you goals, but at least it's going to be colourful. The Steeldogs in orange, the Bees in yellow. As referee Mr. Craig Williams waits at centre ice. And we are underway with period number 1 of tonight's game as the Steeldogs win the opening puck drop. Played up the wall to Ripley. Can't do much as he tips it on ahead. Goodbye is the first player there. Tries to clear, glove down, turned over, Ripley in the low slot. Collision with Mogg, forced to Tremblay. Tremblay shot saved by Wright. Attempted clearance back to the blue line. Ballaz puts them under pressure. Ripley misplays it, gets back to Ty Cathcart. Ran a ball and out the zone. Puck played up into the Steeldogs bench. First break in play. Face off to the right of Crow. Won by the Dogs once more. 5 round of balls over to Sommer. Off the back of a skate, Dogs still with the puck. Cross-ice pass blocked by Stead, turned over again though. Bjorkley-Nordstrom leaves it. Back to Bjorkley-Nordstrom, shot saved by Wright. Good move from Sommer at the left-hand side. Bjorkley-Nordstrom going to the net. Nick, I think we might need to change the colour on the Steeldogs banner. Face off won by the Bees. They haven't been blue for 2 seasons now. Stead up to Kelly, kept in by Phillips. Sommer from the hash marks. Phillips tries to go back to Sommer. It does fall for him. Shot off the glove of Wright and goes behind the net. Bjorkley-Nordstrom tries to push it back in front of goal but can't. Morris tries to clear, eventually done by Rose. Erskine tries to get around Adams. Shot from Rose into the glove of Crow. He'll hold on. Face off, won by the Bees. Shot from Antonov. Goes up and over the net. Quick pass. Well intercepted by Antonov. Picked off the blue line by the Dogs. Played ahead. Wright will cover up. The on-rushing Doxy. Face off once again, won by the Dogs. Back comes, dropped off to Tremblay. Halfords tries to go back to the Canadian. Goodbye, putting him under pressure. Thrown down to Halfords once more. Good move to get around Ballaz on a lap of the zone. That shot blocked by Goodbye. Ripley loses it out to Antonov. Still playing in the corner, Ripley brings it out. Looking for an option, goes all the way back to the blue line. Shot off the stick of Wright. Thrown back across Ripley. Lovely movement by the Dogs, and Wright makes another save off his elbow and out. Halfords tries to step away from Nags. Tremblay over to assist. Moves around. Cooper through traffic. Wright sees that one and holds on. And the Bees just losing their shape a little bit at the start of this game. Good shift by the Dogs' top unit. Cooper finding a lane. Wright moving well to his right. Cathcart under pressure from Doxy. Rolls as a turnover. Doxy with another shot. Wright, another save. This is out on this shift. Jack Brammer, according to Elite Prospects, this is his 200th game for the Steeldogs tonight. This is out now. Congratulations to him. I don't know if that's right. If it's not, blame Elite Prospects, everyone. Bees win the draw. Morris off the boards. Erskine. Little chip and chase. Stead will get there ahead of Barry. He loses the puck. Dogs the other way. 3-on-3. Good block by Morris. Rebound off the back of the goal. Almost falls to Jack Brammer. Cleared by Erskine. Just kept in. Broken stick on that one for Barry. Morris will let the Bees get a change in. Phillips, the one-man forecheck for the Dogs. As Morris finally makes the move. Tries to get the right-hand side. Icing going to be waved off there. As Adams holds on to Erskine. Thrown ahead, blocked by Antonov. Balance all on his own at the right-hand side. Will hit a shot on goal. Crow pushes that one aside. Rebound taken behind the net. Thrown back out. Phillips jumps on in front of Nog. Morgan over to Bjorkley Nordstrom. Battles his way back up to the blue line. Balaz able to stop the first breakout, but nothing you can do about the second. Dogs the other way. Dropped off to Bjorkley Nordstrom. Kelly runs a little pick to stop any forward progress. Antonov over the blue line. Phillips on the back check. Breaks any kind of move up there. Antonov battling against the side of the net. Knocked away, Steeldogs come away with it. Flipped up ice, picked off by Gabai. Gabai across to Antonov. Antonov shot, that goes past the post and into the corner. Morris throws it in down low. Kirk is there to intercept. Bjorkley Nordstrom will clear up ice. Foot race to it, won by Jonathan Phillips. Phillips hands on the shot as Kelly closes the angle down. Drop back off, Tremblay off the bench and into the back of the net. Sam Tremblay, a little bit of space. No one went to close him down to give Wright the chance to make the save. And Tremblay snipes it down low glove, 5-0-3, and the Dogs take the lead. Phillips just off camera, no one picks up Tremblay as he ghosts into the zone. And with room to move, easily slots it past Max Wright for his 17th of the season. 17 goals in his 23 games for Sam Tremblay. So assisted by Jonathan Phillips as well. Let's see if there's a further assist coming. Rose gives it back to Tremblay, back to the blue line. Tremblay again, space. Drops it off the Halfords, cycled round. Cooper tries to throw it back across. Halfords shot blocked by Stead. That one looks like it hurt. What else in the Bees need is another injury. Cooper, Halfords again, creates the space, moving past Cathcart, saved by Wright. Tremblay from Phillips is the first Steeldogs goal. Dogs with the draw again. Fired into the corner. Halfords gets it lift by Mogg. Clearance kept in by Cooper. Cross to Kirk. Shot saved by Wright again. We said the Bees have stumbled across a way of playing that has worked the last 2 weeks. They have yet to find their shape so far tonight. Dogs with the draw again. Cooper. Back to Ripley, thrown in down low. Halfords spins away from Ballas, leaves it for Tremblay, who skates back into Slovakian. Tremblay, lovely mitts to get it away from both Ballas and Gabai. Ripley will just throw it into the corner. Bees with it. Nags up to Ballas. Gets the pocket pick by Tremblay, but then returns the favour on Halfords. And loses out to Jonathan Kirk. Dogs get the full change in, as do the Bees, almost. Played ahead. Misplay on that one as Brammer skates into the zone too early. Dogs reset. Brammer plays it on ahead. Instead, able to beat Doxy to the puck. Kept in at the blue line. Brammer throws it in down low again. Kelly, the only man there, under pressure from Doxy. Erskine just gets past Barry at the blue line. I'll go back to Smith. Barry gives it straight to Ballas as he skates off the bench. Dogs carry it up ice. Sommer runs into a bit of a sandwich as Erskine loses a stick to the linesman. Phillips goes to shads down low. Sommer got some space in front of Kelly, in front of goal. Wright makes a good read on that one and the save. Here's Brammer colliding with Ballas. Oh, there you go. Producer Nick has fixed the colour. Well done, Nick. Did you save it for next time? No. Morris gets the blue line, thrown up ice, or chasing himself under pressure from Sommer. Dogs turnovers. We take over 8 minutes gone here in period number 1. Carried by Bjorky Nordstrom the whole way as he forces another shot on Max Wright's net. Attempted clearance collected by Morgan. Stopped by Cathcart. Goodbye's pass is wayward. Luckily it's given back to him. He'll eventually throw it up ice to Ballas. Ballas stopped at the blue line by Turner that time. Offside signalled. Ballas will leave the zone. Moved up ice. Another offside this time as Dancer jumps the gun. Tried his best to hold on at the blue line as he shows Sam Tremblay there, but just couldn't quite pull the move off. Rose wins the draw. Nags. Another blown edge for Erskine. That's the second one already in the period. Right, out of his net to play. Rose finds Mock. Takes the hit from Tremblay. Instead, will fire it over to Dan Rose. Can't get control of the puck. Thrown around the boards. Shudra able to get there ahead of Nags. Gets dispossessed by Rose. Rose evades the hit from Adams. Does a good job of spinning out of that one. Thrown back up ice. Halfords. Decides he's going to go through all of the Bees at the moment. Morris misses on that hit. Back to the blue line. Halfords thrown across ice. Ripley all alone. And that's off the shoulder of Wright and up into the netting. Ripley given far too much space again on the back post. Dogs with the puck again. Cooper fans on that one, and that lets Ballas away. Jonathan Kirk on the back check. Ballas winds up, fires, and that one goes wide. No one in the yellow shirt able to get up there fast enough to help him. Dogs the other way. In on goal, Ripley. Chance, save right. Ripley collects the rebound. Thrown down low again. Ripley allows it to run round the boards. Drops it off for Tremblay. Halfords tries to go back to the blue line again. Ballas able to just poke it up off the stick of Cooper and into the Bees bench. Just over halfway through the first period. Wins the draw. Cathcart. There he goes. Antonov helps it on its way. Foot race to the puck will be easily won by Barry. Brammer up to Doxey. He loses the puck. Bees keep it in the zone. Rose. Penalty called on that one. Slashing call coming on the Dogs. 10:50 the time of the call. Let's see who's going to the box. It looks like it's Jack Brammer. Yeah, Jack Brammer to the box. 10:50, 2 minutes for slashing on that one. Bees on the power play this year, 17.83% success rate. They've got 18 goals on the year, 5 of them coming from Marcel Ballas, 4 each for Liam Morris and Will Stead. The Steeldogs penalty kill has only given up 16 goals this year, 77.46 success rates. Bees were 3 for 3 last Sunday against the Lightning. They'll want a repeat performance of that tonight. Mogg to Ballas. Thrown down low and goes through the crease and out the other side. And Mogg mishandles that one. That one go out past the blue line. Thrown in by Goodbye. Crow out of his net to play it. Throws it back to Goodbye. Thrown through the zone. No one in a yellow shirt there, and the Dogs will easily clear the puck on that occasion. Goodbye. Up to Ballas. Bouncing puck collected by Goodbye. He goes in over the blue line, forced away. Drops the puck off the Ballas, blocked shot on that occasion. Antonov. Met by Halfords. Dogs try and clear. Turned over again. That pass to Goodbye. Not to tape. Ballas again. Back to Antonov. Mogg at the blue line. Goodbye shot from the blue line, blocked by Steeldogs defenseman in front and cleared by Halfords. Right, and was net to play it, moves this out for Mogg. Long stretch pass, Antonov in a foot race will get there ahead of Barry. Able to shovel it along the boards to Tremblay. 20 seconds left on the Brammer minor as that pass finds Halfords. He'll happily hold on for a couple more seconds and launch it high into the glove of right. Mogg. Up the right hand wall to Erskine. Dogs return to full strength. First kill of the night for the Dogs. And they turn the puck over here. It's 2-on-2 the other way. Trailing man coming. Good block by Josh Kelly to prevent the rush of Jonathan Phillips. Bees the other way. Erskine will collect the loose puck. Good move to get away from Barry. Back to Will Stead. Stead shot. That one's blocked in front. Stead collects his own rebound and then gets his pocket picked again and Dogs the other way. Bjorkley Nordstrom tries to throw it into the zone. Wright will reach for it and cover up. 6:39 remaining in the first. Face-off on by the Dogs. Sommer. Drops it down low. Phillips will go back to Sommer. Cycled around. Smith. Off the side of the net. Sommer moved aside by Morris. Rose will find Cathcart. Rose. Stead loses out on that occasion. Bees just escaping a too many men penalty, which would have been interesting considering there's only 11 out skaters. Right, leaves it for Mogg. Off the glass, kept into the blue line. Lots of space for the Steeldogs again. Doxy, back to the blue line. Goodbye with the poach check, says Balaz. Gives it back to the coach, 3 on 2. Goodbye. Looks for an option, finds Antonov. Big save, Crow. Antonov tries to shovel it in. Dan Crow comes up big twice. Goodbye off camera, feeds Antonov right in front. And Crow tracks the puck the whole way. And makes a big stop on the doorstep. Fired over to Antonov. That one goes through his legs. He just has to flip it into the zone where Cooper will collect. Cooper up the right hand side. Tremblay calling for it. Cooper ignores him. Goes to Halfors. Dogs into the zone anyway. Cooper thrown through the crease, trying to find Tremblay, only finds Stuart Mogg. Off the boards. Halfors, good job of reading that pass, stops any kind of rush for the Bees. Thrown Tremblay as the freedom of the blue line, under pressure from Morris now. Tremblay sources it over to Ripley. Good pressure from Nags, and no one seems to know where the puck is until Liam Morris comes over and finds it. Nags, long stretch pass, finds Stead as he battles his way through the Dogs' defence. Drops it off, no one there in a yellow shirt. Dogs the other way. Doxy over the blue line, spins away from Erskine. No one there to help him on that occasion. As Morris moves the puck along. 3 on 3 the other way. Rose over the blue line. Ushered into the corner by Brammer and Smith. Pass into the slot, no one there in a yellow shirt. Little drop pass attempted from Brammer to Brammer. Jack Brammer tries to find Jacob Brammer. He's making friends with Dan Rose at the moment. Right out of his net to play the puck, finds Mogg. Balance over to Cathcart. Chip and chase for the Bees D-man. Adams takes it away from him. Up to Sommer. Antonov tries to play the puck, instead puts himself into a little bit of trouble under pressure from Bjorkley Nordstrom. Phillips collects the puck. Cycle back down to Bjorkley Nordstrom. Back to Sommer. Phillips in front. Good stick in the lane there from Goodbye. That will set the Bees the other way. Ballas over the blue line, looks for an option, finds a training Goodbye. Goodbye, shot, Goodbye, scores! A lovely move from the Bees as they go coast to coast. And they tie the game up, 17-02, Dom Goodbye's 10th of the season. It started at the other end, Ballas carries it over the blue line, Antonov draws the D-man over to him, and a little pocket of space for Dom Goodbye to file on under the blocker of Crow. As we're all tied up at 1. As we back underway. So imagine Goodbye from Balaz is going up as always. Halfords up the boards. Tremblay stopped at the blue line. Halfords and Balaz tangled up. Cooper turns and fires into the zone. Right, will play it. Finds Kelly. Balaz. Finds Morris. Goodbye from Balaz and Antonov as the Dogs come over the blue line. Lovely move from Halfords. Maybe hooked on that one. The Dogs bench certainly want the penalty. I'll have to see that one again. Not the best angle for me on that one. I do apologise as Rose clears. The Dogs definitely have a case. Will Nick get that one queued up? Thrown into the opposite corner. Ripley. Drops it off for Sommer. Back to the blue line. Tremblay. Delay penalty call coming up on the Bees now. Crow to the bench. Tremblay. Back to Kirk. Shot into the glove right. He'll hold on. And the penalty coming on the Bees. It's another slashing call. 18:23 time of the penalty. Liam Morris is going to take a sit for 2 minutes or less. And they probably do have a case there for at least a penalty. They've got it eventually. You could argue 5 on 3, but we'll go 5 on 4. The Steeldogs have 23 power play goals on the season, a 31.94 success rate. 6 of those coming from Jonathan Phillips and Som Tremblay, 4 from Eddie Halfords, and 2 others with 2 each. The Bees penalty kill has given up 14 on the year. That's an 80% success rate on the nose. 90 seconds remaining in the first. The Dogs go to work. Tremblay. Cycle round to Sommer. Halfords at the goal line. Kirk shot blocked in front. Mogg does his best football impression and kicks it as far away as he can. Halfords down low. Sommer again. Halfords with a shot. That's off the blocker, right. High bounce. Almost wrong foot Sommer. Little pick from Halfords takes Cathcart out for a moment. Cycled round. Tremblay. That one blocked by Mogg. That's another broken stick. Sommer. Shot. Almost up here on the balcony as he gets caught up in the netting. 49 seconds to go in the first. Steeldogs obviously on the power play for the rest of the period unless they score. Face off won by Tremblay. Cycled round, poked away by Antonov. Tremblay picks his pocket though. This prevents any kind of short-handed breakout. Balaz reads that pass back to Kirk. And clears it up ice. Tremblay. Ushered away from goal by Kelly. Back to Tremblay now. Shot fired over the bar. Put everything in that one. Halfords. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Bees will try not to give up another shot. Pass from Tremblay just behind Phillips on that occasion. Tick down 6 seconds. The Dogs bench calling for a shot. That one is blocked by Balaz. Back to Kelly. Back to the blue line. And the Dogs will not get a shot away as they look for the extra pass. So 20 minutes gone here in the hangar. The Dogs, with an aggressive forecheck to start the game, took a deserved lead. Sam Tremblay gifted the freedom of the ozone to slot one past Max Wright. The Bees' chances few and far between, but the one they made count was pocketed home by Dom Gabai. And after 20 minutes, we are tied up here. Bees 1, Steeldogs 1. The Steeldogs start with 24 seconds of man advantage at the start of the second, and we'll be back with that in about 15 minutes' time. Welcome back to the hangar for the start of period number 2, as one official has decided to come out and not bring his friends with him. Stats for the first period, shots on goal. There were 6 on... You've got those the wrong way around, by the way, Nick. 6 on Dan Crow in the Steeldogs net and 15 on Max Wright in the Bees net. Stop trying to justify it. You know you messed up, admit it. Sam Tremblay with the 1 goal for the Steeldogs. A beautiful finish early in the period. Dom Gabai sniping one home to make it 1-all. Penalty each. Jack Brammer sitting 1 for slashing, and Liam Morris sitting 2 for sulching. You had a drink on the way here, by any chance? Sulching. Hey. Elsewhere in the league tonight, it is the Swindon Wildcats 0, the Romford Raiders 2 the first period. That first period was delayed by 10 minutes because they couldn't find a Zamboni driver, apparently. Leeds 9-2, Telford 0, end of the first. The MK Lightning, it was 1-0. They have just scored to make that 2-0. Sorry, Nick, that's not your fault that time. This one is, though, it's the Bristol Pitbulls 2, the Hull Seahawks 0. They've got 2 quick goals from Bailey Harewood and Elliot Lewis. As the Steeldogs return to the ice, with Dan Crowe leading the back out. They will start the second period 24 seconds with a man advantage. Just wait the bees as Max Wright heads on his way out. All still to play for in the final 40 minutes, plus potential overtime, of course. Officials are ready to go, the Dogs are ready to go, Bees ready to go. 5 on 4 for 24 seconds. Dan Crowe rolling round in the net for some reason, just off the camera, as Roy Hamilton calls them in. He's been there for a while. And we're underway with period number 2. Dogs set up with 4 forwards. Sommer with space. Fired cross. Goal! That was dangerous. Another chance as it falls back to Kirk. And Wright holds on. Whatever play they drew up for the start of the second, it worked. Sommer and acres of space. Throws it cross ice. And that's off the bar and out. Sam Tremblay again. Offensive zone draw. Won by the Dogs. Tremblay gets his pocket pick. The Bees are away here. 3 on 2 as the penalty draws to an end. Goodbye. Scored around the back of the net by Phillips. Tries to bank one in. Bees return to full strength. Goodbye. Cuts the puck. Backhands that towards goal and wide. Bouncing puck collected by Tremblay. Still 4 forwards on the ice for the Dogs. Tremblay drops it off Sommer. Brilliant work on the back check by Antonov, and the Bees clear. Kirk. That's Phillips for a D partner at the moment. Turned over, Goodbye. Drops it off, Antonov tries to find Balaz. Pass nowhere near the Slovak, unfortunately. Antonov off the boards to himself. Throwing off the leg of Phillips. Goodbye. Back to the blue line. Mogg throws it to Antonov. Shot from the goal line, saved by Crowe. Halfords carry it up ice. Runs into a bit of trouble, gets the pocket pick. Mogg. Dangerous flip, but stays in the pad. Both teams complete changes. Barry. Thrown up ice, tipped ahead by Jacob Brammer, I should say. Right, round the boards. Kept in by Barry. Thrown in on goal, pushed away by Wright. Smith goes down low, no one there in the orange shirt. Good work from Jacob Brammer to get back into it and ahead of Rose. Tries to go back to Smith, loses out. Bees can break the other way. Erskine over the blue line, shot comes off the mouth of Barry. That looked painful. He's on one knee anyway. Body on the line. Barry is okay as he skates back to the bench. It's a painful one, but thankfully up and okay. Face off, won by Trombley. He goes back to Kirk. Finds Cooper. Trombley tries to chip it round Stead, can't. Loose puck collected by Rose. Stead pushed on ahead, Crow out of his net to play it, fires around the boards. Halfords gets picked by Rose. Rose bundles through Tim Smith. And Dogs recover the puck. Trombley to Ripley. Through one, fired cross ice. Shot saved by Wright the first time asking, and at the second. A few words had at the end of that. Nothing untoward in it. Two good saves from Max Wright once more. There's the first one, the rebound comes loose. Ripley tries to shovel one at home again. Bees win the draw. Fired up ice, stopped by Morgan. Cathcart carries it over the blue line, loses the handle, puts pressure on Morgan. And Dogs still able to clear the blue line. Balaz chipped ahead to Antonov, drops it back off of Balaz, thrown towards net, blocked by Bjork Nordstrom. Back to Balaz, empty cage, and Balaz puts the Bees in front. 23-19, the broken play puts the Bees up in the game, 14th of the season for Marcel Balaz. Play breaks up, Goodbye able to find Balaz, and Crow tries to come out and compete for that one. If anything, just maybe a little too central on that one, and that leaves Marcel Balaz with an empty cage to tuck it home into. The Bees lead 2-1. Bees again over the blue line. Morris gets dispossessed by Doxey. Morris shots pass, allowed to run. Kelly will be there first. Pumps on its way. Doxey. Referee Roy Hamilton takes a tumble on that occasion. Morgan keeps it in the blue line. Bees a bit for an offside, nothing doing there. Jacob Brammer throws into the slot, and the Bees do well to get the puck away. Balaz from Morgan and Antonov is given as the Bees' second goal. As they come across the blue line, Will Stead tries to find Erskine, puck bounces over his stick. Drop back off for Stead, leaves it for Dan Rose. Rose shot, big save Crow, rebound again, another save Crow, and jumps on it the third time of asking. Human skittles in front of the net, 5 of them all down on the floor. Crow keeping his foot firmly planted on that left-hand post, and then everybody bundle. Everyone is up and okay. Steeldogs just need to regain a bit of composure here. They are a bit 6s and 7s after that second goal. Dan Crow with a couple of big saves. Bees win the draw. Antonov fakes out Halfords, drops it off for Balaz. Nags goes back to Antonov at the blue line. Shot through traffic. Goodbye with a tip. And Crow makes the save. Goodbye tries to go for it behind Crow. I'm not sure it was there. I think Crow did a very good job of making the save. Goodbye in front of the net. I think it was more out of hope than anything as the Dogs win the draw. Put back to Kirk. Well, he keeps that in the zone, but then he fires it over to Sam Cooper. Cooper sets Ripley away. Puck pushed ahead, and Max Wright jumps on top of it. Dogs win the draw. Kirk through traffic. And another one in the save column for Max Wright. Dogs win the draw. Pass thrown back to Tim Smith, but I don't think, Sam Cooper even, I don't think he was expecting it there from Ripley. Halfords goes back to Cooper, loses the handle again. Ripley finds Kirk, Tremblay helps on its way, foot race. Halfords is going to win that every day of the week and twice on Saturdays. Ripley tries to drop it off for Cooper again. Good work from Nags. Clears the puck. Morgan tries to find Halfords. It's the puck returned to him anyway. Dogs over the blue line. Dropped off for Halfords by Tremblay. Tries to fire cross ice. Bees will clear. Not as far as they would have liked. Kicked in by Morgan. Into the corner. Coming together between Tremblay and Morris. Bees will clear it this time. He's just getting away from Bjorkley Nordstrom. Adams fires it up ice. Cathcart takes the long route. He's able to get there ahead of Bjorkley Nordstrom on that occasion. Bad pass there from the Bees. Turns it over. And that one is behind Morgan and out the zone. Adams not to play the puck, leaves it for Adams. Up the ball to Bjorkley Nordstrom, kept in the blue line by Cathcart. Back over to Sommer. Liam Morris loses an edge and actually makes the turnover. Rose. Through the legs of Sommer. Back to Stead. Shot fired off the blocker of Crow. Erskine turns, fires. That one deflected wide by Morgan. Bjorkley Nordstrom mows through Stead. Good work from Morris, though, to keep it in the zone for a second as the Steeldogs clear. Nice pass finds Bjorkley Nordstrom, and then brilliant work on the back check by the Bees. Prevents the breakaway chance. Foot race to the puck. Adams and Erskine get there together. And offside called on the Steeldogs there. I think one was more a case of just the sea of humanity stuck at the blue line. Someone was always going to be the wrong side of it. Just over 7 minutes gone in the second. Turner off the boards. That one goes up into the Dogs bench. Bees come away with the draw. Long stretch pass attempted through centre ice. Crow has to play it to wash any icicle out. Balance finds Goodbye below the goal line on the wraparound attempt. Good block by Turner. Goodbye turns, fires that one into the glove of Crow, and he'll hold on once more. Goodbye tried to sneak one in short side, collected his own rebound. Antonov playing for the tip in front, couldn't get anything on that one. Draw. Kirk cleared up ice. Halfords will get around Mogg on that occasion. Halfords tries to find Ripley back door, and that one saved by Wright once again. Kirk, good job of keeping it in the zone. Bees will clear the zone. Offside is called. The Dogs play it anyway. Should go the whole way, but it's not going to on that occasion. Stay neutral zone on that one. The Bees defensive zone side of it. And Bees do plead their case on that one to the officials. Cooper gets centre ice, tries to fire it in. That one's blocked and then immediately turned over by Liam Morris. Halfords. Another blown edge in front of the net. Halfords again, tries to find Ripley. Bees try and clear, glove down by Cooper. Over to Kirk, through centre ice, tipped on ahead by Halfords. Tremblay will chase after it with Morris. Morris around the boards, bounce off of the plexi doors. He's generous to the Bees. Erskine battling with Cooper. Good work from Cooper, separates him from the puck. Fired around, still gets there ahead of Kirk, can't do anything with it. Cooper under pressure from Antonov. Almost puts himself in a dangerous position. It is turned over that time to Gabai, and Gabai's no-look pass just behind Vanya and falls to Kirk. Dogs the other way, Tremblay tips it on ahead. Halfords can't carry any momentum over the blue line, has to return. Sees the puck from Kirk. This time it was up to speed. Backhanded off the side of the net. Halfords collects again. Turns and fires down low. Bjorkley Nordstrom. And Morris bearing down on him. Kept in by Phillips. Turned over. He's with it. That was risky from Balaz. And it gets away with it on this occasion and actually works out for the better. Bees can break. Antonov over the blue line. Adams takes a tumble. And Antonov fires it wide. Dogs almost get the other way. Mogg able to beat Phillips to the puck. He's got a change in. Morgan. Sommer. Fired cross ice. Bjorkley Nordstrom tries to drop it off to Phillips. Gets his pocket picked by Cathcart. Bees can come the other way. 2-on-2. Rose drops it off for Antonov. Antonov's shot takes a deflection off Morgan. Fired clear. Cathcart keeps it in. Fires through traffic off the blocker. Crow. Big bounce off that one. You can hear it from up here. Bjorkley Nordstrom. Tries to drop it off to Sommer. No one there. And the Bees will try and clear. And the Dogs going for a delay game on that one, but it's up to the Dogs bench. 9:21 remaining in period number 2. Shot fired wide of the Bees' goal. Cleared to the net front, cleared up ice, icing signalled and called. One of the very few icings we've had tonight so far. We've had a very quick game, man. Hour and 7 minutes for 31 minutes of hockey so far. Face off to the left of Max Wright. Steeldogs come away with it. Chance fired towards goal by Jacob Brammer. Bees clear. Erskine off the boards. That one will beat any icing call. Shudra is back to play it. Tries to fire it over to Jacob Brammer. No one there. Kelly. Erskine takes the hit from Smith. Will wash out the icing. Barry back up on the ice. Skates past Goodbye. Coast to coast here from Son Barry. Still with it. The D-man and loses out on the pass back to Sugar. Bees the other way. 3-on-3. Balaz finds Antonov. Antonov shot save. Crow. Antonov rebound off the post. Cooper tries to clear. Takes a hit from Kelly. Morris back to collect. Steeldogs calling for a change. It's thrown over to Balaz. Lovely pass finds Antonov. Goodbye into the zone. Tries to go back to Balaz. Not to tape. Shot fired across goal and wide. Dogs can break the other way. 3-on-2. Halfords up ice. Words between Barry and Goodbye being had behind the play. As Morris makes the read on the attempted pass into the slot there. Cleared again. Goodbye. It's 2-on-1 the other way. Dogs coming back. Goodbye. Tries to fire it in on Crow. May should have gone for the pass on Antonov. Crow is nervously trying to hold on to where the puck is, and it is not over the line. Well, let's go to the tape. Antonov waiting to receive the pass. And it's, if anything, it looks like it's lying on Crow's right pad, leg pad. Good save once again by the Dogs netminder. Tremblay intercepts the pass from Mogg, sets Halfords away. Halfords ushered away from goal. Nags putting him under pressure. Still with it. Back to the blue line it comes. Kirk down low, cycled around by the Dogs. Misplay pass, still comes back to Halfords. Throws a hit on Nags. Bouncing puck back to Halfords. Gets a receipt for that one. The Bees will break the other way again. Stead throws it on ahead. That one will be covered up by Crow. Instead, an Erskine bear down on goal. A couple of big hits coming in now. Here's the one on Halfords. Nags making sure to return the favour for the hit 20 seconds before. Drops finally. Phillips wins the draw. Battle finds Goodbye. Back to Balaz. Shot! And Balaz fires it over the glove of Crow for his second of the game. The Bees come away with a puck from the battle and extend lead 3-1, 33-11 time of the goal. Marcel Balaz is 15th of the season. Point number 30 on the year for the Slovak. Goodbye comes away with it. Morgan breaks up the first pass, but it falls nicely back to the Slovak, and he'll fire it under the bar, popping the water bottle, and the Bees lead 3-1. Well, who saw this at the start of the night? Sommer, however, breaking in, shot from the goal line, and that one has gone in! Walker Sommer with a shot from an outrageous angle, and as quick as London buses, the Dogs get a goal back. 33-23. Walker Sommer's 19th of the season. Straight off the draw, Sommer collects it from the goal line and just fires it through Max Wright. An outrageous angle to finish on from there. Well, it was a two-goal game. It's back to one again. The Dogs win the draw again. Bjorkley Nordstrom tries to get round Mogg. Battle again. Loose puck. Phillips pushes it ahead. Bjorkley Nordstrom. Balance from Antonov and Goodbye to Bees' third goal. Coming over in the front of the net, Dogs want a penalty, nothing called. Bees the other way. Erskine will carry it up the left-hand side. tries to get around Morgan. Stead pickpockets Sommer. Apologise, I do think I called him Walker Summer there at one point. I was a bit Sommer. Turner. Sommer from Phillips and Morgan, the Dogs' second goal of the night, as the puck is fired up to Will Stead. Tips it on ahead and washes out any icing call. Bees riskily going for a change. Morgan fired at right hand side. Jack Brammer, fires it in. Kelly plays it on ahead. Doxey is there. He's firing behind the goal where Morris will collect. Both Brammers bearing down on Morris. Jacob comes away with the puck, held up behind the Bees' net, and finally dragged away. Blue line to blue line, lovely move, Dom Gabai, and the shot fails him at the very end. Smith. Doxey loses an edge again. Balaz over to Gabai. Tries to step round Barry, can't do it on that occasion. Gabai maybe getting put off by Antonov, but icing is called. 4:44 remaining in period number 2. The windmill from Gabai. Fires that one wide. Bees win the draw, back to the blue line and Mogg. Chips it into the corner. Rose tries to leave it for Erskine. He wasn't expecting him to play, so Tom Barry will collect. Gets centre ice thrown in, right is there to play it. Tries to fire it up to Rose. Dogs read the pass. Keep it in. Tremblay. The Bees are calling for offside. There is no offside call, so all a bit confusing. Now there's an offside signal for some reason. No one wanted to play the puck. There was no shout of offside, yet we have an offside decision. Fair enough. Dogs win the draw. Kirk. Fired in. Nags tries to get it around Ripley. Kirk towards goal. Right, will hold on that occasion. Just over 4 minutes to go. With the shot from Kirk coming in, you can see Halfords and Ripley both try and screen the netminder. Dogs win the draw, turned over. Here come the Bees up ice again. Goodbye. Pushed down the corner by Kirk, legally I should say. Tremblay shovels it over to Ripley. He'll eventually set Halfords away. Halfords in on goal, off the blocker of right. Tremblay. Loses out to Balaz. Tries to fire around the boards. Picked up by Ripley. One out the zone. Dogs reset. Kirk. Fired across. Halfords. Down low. Tremblay again. Met by Balaz. Losing edge again. Fire back to Sommer. Shot blocked. Tremblay tries to get around Cathcart. Good puck movement from the Dogs as Adams tries to go cross ice. That one's read like a book by Gabai. Antonov up the right hand side, under pressure on the back, checking Adams. And Adams able to clear. That one will be iced. 2.5 minutes remaining in period number 2. Bit of a moment there for one of the officials as he tries to say the bees can't change on the dogs icing the puck. Phillips wins the draw. Adams will try and clear. Foot race, easily won by Ripley. It's a lovely pass in the end. Ripley tries to find Phillips. That is wonderful by the Steeldogs. It might not be as intended, but it's super effective. Jonathan Phillips ties the game up 37-38 with his 12th of the year. It's high off the glass, collected by Ripley, and Phillips crashing the net with a man draped all over him. Able to fire it underneath the bar of Max Wright, and we are all tied up again at 3. Dogs with the puck. Phillips from Ripley. Henry Adams has been absolutely screwed out of an assist there. Final 2 minutes, period number 2, as the puck comes back to the blue line. Shot through traffic, right next to save. Covers up at the second time of ask. Dogs win the draw. Antonov breaks the other way. Drop pass to Gabai. Tries to take 2 dogs out of it. Bouncing puck. Good poke check by Crow. Takes it away from Antonov and prevents a surefire 4th. Dogs the other way. Sommer drops it off Bjorkley Nordstrom. Steps inside 1, and it's a 4th the other way. That all comes from the Dane Crow poke check the other end of the ice. And the Dogs, as quick as you like, go coast to coast the other way. And Bjorkley Nordstrom puts the Dogs back in front, 38-29, his 6th of the season. It's this little move here that freezes Ollie Nags and gives him the space. Lovely from the Dogs, and we say the Bees have been very good defensively the last few weeks. Sheffield seem to have worked it out. Speed kills. And the Bees are going to take their time out with 90 seconds to go in period number 2. So as quick as you like, 3-1 to 4-3 in the space of 7 minutes. Both teams go back. Final 90 seconds of the middle stanza. Dogs win the draw. Kirk. Thrown on ahead, right out of his net to play it. Cleared up ice, bouncing puck, foot race to it. Gabai wins the draw and the icing is still called. The Bees make their protestations. Gabai wins the foot race all the way past the hash marks. I think this is going to go back to centre ice. I mean, all of the Steeldogs players are hovering around centre ice expecting it. No, we're going to go all the way back to the defensive zone, and Don Gabai is rightly furious with that decision. And Bees sort of demanding an explanation on that one. Our referee's call stands. 1:14 remaining in period number 2. Dogs win the draw. Kirk through traffic, off the blocker of right. Ansel tries to clear. Halfords turns, fires. That one's saved by right. Dogs win the draw again. Smith down lows into the final minute of the second period. Big hit delivered in the corner. Both officials' arms go up, and the Dogs are going on the penalty kill. Nathan Ripley, as we've still got a B down here. Can't see who it is in the corner. There's a heavy hit delivered. The arms went straight up. Ripley, dare I say it, with a check to the head. It's whether or not it's going to be 2-5 or more. 39:09 is the time of the penalty. And the last thing the Bees need is another injury. Well, there's a call for blood on the ice as well, which tends to influence officials' decisions. The rink's gone a bit quiet now. I think it's Liam Morris. We're not entirely sure who it is. But it could mean that the Bees are down just two-line hockey the rest of the way. Still await a decision. Chat going on currently with Nathan Ripley in the box. And by the looks of the way Nathan Ripley is walking out of the box, it could be 5 in game here. It is Liam Morris is down. He's now up to his feet and skating off at the nearest available door. And Nathan Ripley is being ejected from the game. 5 on the board for the Steeldogs man. I imagine it's 5 in game for checking to the head for Nathan Ripley. Bees will have a 5-minute major. 39:09 the time of the penalty. 5 in game for checking to the head on Liam Morris. 1 for DOPS overnight. 51 seconds to end this period, and then 4 minutes at the start of the third for the Bees. The Dogs very good on the penalty kill all year. Would not surprise me if they keep us out. Adams turns and clears. Right hand of his net to play it, 35 seconds to go. Bees know they have to just go all out for the next 30 seconds. Antonov loses the handle, able to find Gabai. Tries to draw a man out of position, does. Wilstead fans on the shot as he's distracted by Morgan. Gabai, 15 seconds, Gabai's shot off the pad of Crow. Takes it away from Adams. Antonov spins away from Phillips. Goes back to Gabai, 6 seconds. Gabai, Balaz tries to shovel it home. Scramble in front. Wilstead with the puck held between his skates. And the buzzer will go to end the second period. Well, lots to talk about there. Marcel Balaz with 2 goals put the Bees 3-1 to the good. But the Steeldogs seem to have stumbled on the way to beat the Bees' defensive zone. And that's one going fast. Speed killing with Walker Sommer, Jonathan Phillips and Ivan Bjorkley Nordstrom putting the Dogs 4-3 up The big turning point happening there in the final minute. Nathan Ripley out of the game, 5 in game for checking to the head. Means the Bees have a 4-minute penalty, or 4-minute power play, sorry, at the start of the third period. We'll have that and the rest of the third period coming up in about 15 minutes' time. Welcome back to the hangar for the third and possibly final period of tonight's game. Where here it is Berkshire Bees 3, the Sheffield Steeldogs 4. Stats for the second period. Shots on goal on, that's not right, that's goals on goal there, Nick. Shots on goal in that period, there were 13 on Dan Crow in the Steeldogs net, 17 on Max Wright. Really, I've got an update for that one that says 17-13. There you go, 17-13. Come on, you're a tech person, Nick. You know the refresh button, everyone does. 3 goals for the Steeldogs, Walker Summer, Jonathan Phillips, Ivan Bjorkley, Nordstrom, when they were 3-1 down thanks to 2 goals from Marcel Balaz. And the big talking point, Nathan Ripley, 5 in game, checking to the head. The Bees have 4 minutes and 9 seconds of unlimited power play on that one. And the news that we somewhat all expected, Liam Morris done for the night. The Bees down to 10 and 2 goalies. Makes line changes really easy. I suppose if there's one thing. Elsewhere across the league, as it stands, it is the Swindon Wildcats 3, Romford Raiders 3 at the end of the second. Leeds Knights 3, Telford Tigers 0, end of the second. Milton Keynes Lightning 4, Solway Sharks 0 in the second. And Bristol 2, Hull 1 at the end of the first. So we just wait for the Bees to come back on the ice. And obviously we said that there was going to be something for this third period. You at home watching on the stream, you're choosing man of the match. So here's producer Nick's latest fun toy for the Bees man of the match. Scan that QR code on the screen I should say. There are 4 names on the list that were chosen by a member of staff. So you get to pick who the man of the match is from those 4 players. Nick will be putting that up for the Bees man of the match at sporadic points during the night. And for the Steeldogs, they'll be putting this one up. So you can vote for the Steeldogs man of the match if you use that QR code, 4 names for the Dogs as well. I'm hoping Nick hasn't put an option to add other, because that could be a nightmare. He's also now got to remember to keep flicking those up during breaks in play. You have until about 5 minutes left in the third to get your votes in before they are closed for the night. So, Bees on the man advantage for the next 4 minutes. On the Ripley Major. Mogg. Goes behind the goal to Goodbye. Balance. Finds Goodbye, carries it over the blue line away from Morgan, tries to drop it off, no one there in a yellow shirt. Good defensive work by the Steeldogs. Mogg. Goodbye plays off the skate of Balaz. Somehow it works out. Goodbye over the blue line. Drops it off. Antonov leaves it for Balaz. Back to Goodbye. Loses the handle under pressure from Barry. Dogs quite happy just to clear it up ice. Best place for the puck is nowhere near the goal as it's turned over by Halfors. Turns and fires. Tremblay. Drops it off for Halfors. No interest in a shot there. Tremblay steps inside Mogg, turns and goes the other way. And that will kill more time on this Ripley penalty. Tremblay with a shot blocked by Antonov. Kelly picks Halfors' pocket and leaves it for Nags. Half the power play over and done with, and the Bees yet to have a shot. Nags to Cathcart, who just tips it on ahead. Fired round the boards, evades Kelly, and Wright has to play it. Behind the net to Kelly. behind Nags. Dogs turns and fire from Phillips. Bit of a muffin from him on that one. Kelly clears it up ice. Cathcart, 3 D-men on the ice for the Bees now. Rose can't get through the blue line. I think Ty Cathcart is now being asked to play second line forward. Kelly back to Mogg. Blocked by Phillips. Cleared over the blue line. Foot race to it. Dogs bearing down on goal. Lovely move, lovely finish. Walker Sommer and the short-handed marker. And the Bees' numbers finally told. Sommer gets his second of the night, 42-34. Defence's own slip-up and then a literal slip-up by Ty Cathcart. And Sommer goes back across, low blocker on right for the Dogs' 5th and his second of the evening. Goal number 20 on the year for him. So I think we know what Cathcart's being asked to play forward. Goodbye on the power play is currently playing on defence and turns it over to Bjorkley Nordstrom. Sommer from Phillips with the short-hander. The Dogs calling for a penalty there on Doxey, nothing in that one. And offside called as another round of human skittles takes place. 1:12 left on the Ripley power play. Antonov collects the puck over the blue line, steps around Adams. Mogg back to Goodbye, shot saved by Crow. Goodbye again, Bees looking to create something, back to Mogg. Shot through traffic, Crow sees it late, sees it nonetheless and holds on. Stead the screen in front. Not quite able to get a tip on it that time. Bees win the draw. Ball battle goes the way of the Steeldogs. Tremblay over to Halfords, who is judged offside on that one. Barry with the puck, loses it to Balaz, but it's over the blue line, so nothing the Bees can really do with it. Stretch pass, not to Halfords that time. Stead steps inside Barry, carries it over the blue line under pressure from Tremblay, and offside is called again. Bees just struggling to get anything going now. Bees win the draw. That will sadly do it for the Ripley Major with 10 seconds to go in the puck. 100 feet the other way. Antonov, Tremblay loses the puck out of the zone, and the Steeldogs return to 5 skaters. Nags with the puck. That pass blocked by Bjorkley Nordstrom, keeps it in the zone. Dogs sense blood, fired across goal by Barry. Tremblay. Bjorkley Nordstrom. Back to the blue line. Across to Barry. Deflected by Antonov. Gloved down by Nags, who eventually decides to bring it away. Tremblay, lovely move. Walker Sommer gets the hat trick. It's a lovely finish, lovely sick bits for Tremblay. And the Dogs get their 6th, 44-42. And Walker Sommer, no hats on the ice. Lovely move there from Tremblay. Free Sommer, fires it low glove on Max Wright. And the few fans who have made the trip from Sheffield will be delighted with the way the Dogs have dug in after going 3-1 down. Bees win the draw. Mogg gets the centre ice line, fires in. Another heavy hit delivered in the corner. Turner, there was a penalty call on that one. And Turner is going to go to the box. Once again, 44-55. The Bees are going to go back on the man advantage. Ollie Turner sits, 2 minutes for charging. I think another player has just been put in the box for the Dogs as well. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. So Turner's gone 2 minutes for charging, and someone else is now in the box for the Dogs. I couldn't quite see a number as he skated off into the bid. I must be honest, I'm a bit worried as to why. Actually, I know exactly why it's 21 on the clock and not 22. It might be 2 + 2. I don't know. There's nothing on the board at the moment. It's a bench minor, so it is 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. The Dogs are arguing their case, but they're arguing at the wrong person. They're arguing at the linesman and not any of the referees. So we know it's Ollie Turner 2 minutes for charging and a bench minor 2 minutes for, I'm going to guess, abuse. All timed at 44-55. 5-on-3 for the Bees. Bees win the draw. Goodbye. Mogg. It's been a back to goodbye shot. Saved by Crow. Rebound. Dogs' 6 goals been announced as Bjorkley Nordstrom. It definitely was not. Back to Ballas. No one there. Good movement, back to goodbye, shot, save, Crow, back to Mogg. Good movement for the Bees, Mogg, back to goodbye. Again, as they try and close the angle down, they'll bank one in off Crow. And we say about hat-tricks, Marcel Ballas completes his. 6-4, hats fly on the ice, 45-45. And the Bees cut it back to 2. Marcel Ballas, goal number 16. Lovely puck movement, finds his way down to Ballas, and he fires one short side off the back of Crow and in to make it 6-4. And they still have 1 minute 11 of power play time. Dogs win the draw. If the Bees can score on this power play still, it's game back on. Mogg under pressure from Halfors. Ballas to Antonov. Antonov under pressure from Halfors. Back to goodbye. Ballas taken down. Still has the puck. Finally knocked loose. Dogs will clear the blue line. Mogg. 35 seconds left on the power play. Ballas from goodbye and Antonov again. Here we go. Ballas over the blue line, passes it neatly to Sam Tremblay. Didn't exactly have to try too hard on that one. Dogs the other way. 2-on-2 on a poorly timed change. Tremblay into the zone. Dropped off. Saved by Wright off the shot of Smith. Trombley takes a tumble. It's actually going to be 4-on-3 the other way at the moment. Balaz drops it off for Rose. Finds Goodbye. Antonov going towards the front of the net. Goodbye. Shot, save, Crow, rebound. No one there in a yellow shirt. And the Dogs will return to full strength. Goodbye. Collects the puck. We'll try and find Kelly. Kelly waited for a moment there and almost caused disaster. Goodbye, long stretch pass, brilliantly read there at the back for the Dogs, and then turned over. Stead up to Nags. Sommer bumps him off the puck. Bjorkley Nordstrom back to collect. Thrown into the zone. Rose finds Erskine. He'll carry it over the blue line. Shot off the boards. And the Dogs clear. Foot race to it. Nags wins the race ahead of Phillips. 12 minutes exactly to go in period number 3. Face off, won by the Bees. It actually goes in on Crow's net. Stead forces a shot and a save. Rose with the puck. Turns, fires, bobbling puck, falls for Erskine. Back to Mogg. Mogg shot through traffic. Screen in front. Still a scramble and the Dogs will clear. 3-on-3 the other way. Good read by Mogg. Prevents the bounce from Sommer. Stead will take it up ice himself. Erskine collects over to Nags. Looks for an option, has none. Under pressure from Turner. Cross play ahead, icing waved off. Shudra. No look pass to Marcel Balaz. That pass trickles its way forward to Vanya Antonov. Beats a despairing dive of Barry, chips it on goal, and Crow will cover up with 11:02 remaining. I think you hit the wrong button there, Nick. You hit replay, you wanted to hit man of the match votes. See, I'm reminding you. Scan the QR code, pick the Bees man of the match. Scan this QR code. Pick the Steeldogs man of the match. You've got about 6 minutes of game time left before Nick closes the vote. I don't just pick who he wants anyway. Bees win the draw. Goodbye. In on goal. That one goes wide off the boards. Back to Antonov. Through traffic. Crow sees it late but pushes it aside. Antonov keeps it in at the blue line. Goodbye. Under pressure from Smith. Drops it off for Balaz. Hello! It's 6-5. 49-19. And I do believe that's Marcel Balaz's 4th of the evening. Well, who saw this coming 10 minutes ago? Goodbye round the back of the net, drops it off. Crow is looking the wrong way and Balaz fires it home. It's a 1-goal game again with 10 minutes to go. Well, here we go again. We were here last week. The Lightning were 3-1 up, and the Bees scored 2 quick ones to make it 3-all. It was 6-3. It's now back to 6-5. Goodbye. Antonov in front on the backhand. Tries it. Good save from Crowell. Does enough to put Antonov off. Mogg. Balaz, the no-looker, finds Antonov again. Turns, fires, saved by Crow against the post. Balaz from Goodbye and Kelly on the Bees goal number 5. About time someone else got a point tonight. 10 more minutes of this, and potentially more. Held up against the official, off the draw, Dogs try and clear. Mogg, Cathcart, collected by Adams. Dogs will charge the other way. Played ahead, Bjorkley Nordstrom jumps the gun on that one, offside called. 9:49 to go. And there's the QR code to vote for the Bees man of the match. Could have been heavily influenced in the last 3 minutes. And then if you want to vote for the Steeldogs man of the match, it's there. Dogs win the draw. Nags. Up the boards, stopped by Barry. Erskine puts him under pressure, loses his stick in the process, and skates back to the bench holding his arm. Just what the Bees need. Played ahead, right, out of his net to play it. Kelly moves along to Nags again. Stead drops it off for Antonov. Under pressure, pushed from behind. The Bees fans want a penalty. More a case of poor timing than the poor hit in that situation. Tremblay loses his footing over the blue line anyway. Shot on goal, right, makes the save. Off the shot from Doxey. .54 remaining in period number 3. Tremblay in the corner, moves away from Mogg, goodbye, able to read the intended recipient pass. Kept in at the blue line, well there by Cooper. Lovely move in front, save from right as Halfords tries to find another. Lovely move to freeze Cathcart and get the shot on goal. Everyone just a little bit nervous now. Bees able to clear the blue line. Kirk to collect the loose puck. Mogg takes it away from Tremblay. Kirk stopped by Balaz. Puck goes back to Balaz. Goodbye. Down low. Back to Mogg at the blue line. Through traffic. Finds Balaz behind the net. Not sure that was the intended target, but we'll take it. Mogg through traffic again. Tip in front. Takes it too far away from goal that time, and the Dogs clear. Icing waved off. Mogg back to collect the puck. Stretch pass fired up to Balaz. Goodbye in on goal. Dom goodbye! Tie game! How are we here? 52-11. It's 6-all. A lovely move again, Goodbye with a pocket of space, and he fires it across Crow, and the Steeldogs call a timeout. Dom Goodbye, goal number 11 on the night, on the year, second of the night. Well then, timeout, 10 seconds left. Nick, quick as a flash as he's writing these up. Here you go. Bees man in the match voter there. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the Steeldogs one. Nick's going to cap the 10 and he's going to take it offline. You've got 2:49 left. We've actually got votes in as well. Woo! Not so many for the Bees. Steeldogs fans, vote for the Bees man on match 2. You get to pick both. You're in charge tonight. Well, 6-all. Kelly with the puck. Kept in by Morgan. Shot almost from Rose. Tips it past right. And a very quick apology from the alternate captain. Held in the corner now. Comes loose. Sommer tries to drop it off to Bjorkley Nordstrom. Stead, body on the line. Breaks it up. Goodbye from Balaz and Mogg for goal number 6. Kelly takes it away from Bjorkley Nordstrom and throws it in deep. Morgan is there, round the boards. Erskine misplays it, and that will skate the entire way down the ice. Stead under pressure from Phillips. Goodbye comes to collect the puck. Cathcart throws it, no look, and the only Tremblay is there. Under pressure from Goodbye. Halfors loses his footing, puck goes out the zone, foot race to it. Balaz gets there ahead of Kirk, but just does enough to shovel it to Crow. Kept in the blue line for a second there by Mont. Dogs will come the other way. Tiredness, you just feel, is starting to take effect. And the Dogs go offside. Tremblay unable to hold up forward momentum there with Antonov. So both teams have now used timeouts. So no more breathers for anyone. Dogs win the draw. Fired in, right, tries to play it, bounces over a stick. Kelly is there. Halfors loses the footing, finds his way over to Tremblay. Back to the blue line. Cooper tries to throw it back to Halfors, sticking lane from Goodbye. That'll set Antonov away. He's stopped by a sea of orange. Halfors, end-to-end stuff now. Tremblay under pressure from Goodbye. Brilliant work from the player coach. Nags gets the zone. Takes it on a lap of the net. Scramble around. Cooper recovers the puck. Kicked up ice. Icing waved off. Rose is back there to collect. Mogg gives it up to Brammer. Here's the chance for the Dogs. 7-6. And it's a first senior goal for Jacob Brammer. Ghosts into the zone and fires home for goal number 1. 54-47, the Dogs retake the lead. It's good work from bigger brother. And he feeds Jacob Brammer, who fires it past right. The Dogs lead what is potentially the game winner. The referees are looking for the puck. They haven't realised Jack Brammer's taken it. Someone might want to tell the linesman here, he's in the net. So, 5-13. And the Dogs retake the lead. Imagine not liking ice hockey. Stead over the blue line. The Bees have to find something from somewhere again. Erskine towards goal. Crow almost gets wrong-footed from a deflection in front. Brammer from Brammer, and Tom Barry almost tied the game up. Jacob Brammer from Jack Brammer is the Dogs' 7th goal. Dogs come away with the puck. Flipped up ice. Right has to play it. Fired into the corner. Stead. Big hit from Cathcart on Bjorkley Nordstrom, takes both out of the play. Stead the other way. The Dogs turn it over. 4 on 3 into the zone. Sommer looks for an angle, blocked by Morgan on the shot there. Sommer takes it away from Mogg, finds Phillips. Bouncing puck away from Sommer. Shot towards goal, blocked by Bjorkley Nordstrom. Back high again, shot through traffic, deflection takes it wide. Phillips is there, bouncing puck, loose in the paint. Phillips is there, saved by Max Wright. Back to the blue line it comes, another shot, another save for Max Wright. Car crash hockey. Phillips with a chance on the doorstep, and Max Wright has just thrown his blocker out and robbed the former GB international. It's also not a surprise that I said to you at the start of the night, this would be a defensive battle, and so far we've had 13 goals. Shows how much I know. Bees come away with the puck. Antonov flips it up ice. Balaz will chase. Wines fires across goal and wide. Kelly just about keeps that into the blue line. Antonov with it. Antonov to the front of the net. Scramble in front of the despairing dive from Jonathan Kirk. Back to Kelly. Kelly through traffic. Crowe sees it late but makes the save nonetheless. Dogs clear, bouncing puck, falls nicely in on goal. Halfords with a chance. Another robbery for Max Wright. Halfords with nags all over him. And Max Wright with another to add to the highlight reel. Bees win the draw. Goodbye. Over to Antonov. Loses the puck. Dogs try and clear. Big hit, swung on a miss, but it causes a turnover again. Antonov into the zone. Balaz shot. Crowe just holds on that occasion. .3:14 to go. Bees win the draw. Balaz sees a turn pass from Mogg, who is just dumped to the ice by Bjorkley Nordstrom. Balaz battling for the puck. Got 4 on shirts around him. Antonov with a chance. That one's blocked by Adams. Cathcart loses out. Sommer, breakaway chance again. Sommer versus Wright. Max Wright wins again. Drop pass again. 8-6. Bjorkley Nordstrom says forget about it. Tiredness prevails. Sommer doesn't give up on the puck. Drops it off for Bjorkley Nordstrom, the trailing forward. And that could be the dagger with 2:42 to go. 3 Bs, all the wrong side of the goal line, and no one picking up the big Swede. Bees win the draw. Rose tries to drop it off, no one there in a yellow shirt. Stead battles back to get the puck. Nags. Stead keeps it in the blue line. Down low, finds Rose. Shot saved by Crowe. Dogs clear. Nags Wright is calling to be pulled for the extra attacker. It's not going to matter. Dogs are in. Jonathan Phillips with an additional assist on goal number 8 there. So Bjorkley, Nordstrom from Sommer and Phillips. Stead. Wright is going to skate to the bench. He's going to make them make the call. Everyone's gone to the bench. There's no one there as the Dogs turn the puck out, collect the puck, and it's going to be 9. Who wants it? Brady Doxey saves Stuart Mogg. I think Max Wright just decided he was pulling himself regardless. Cathcart. Up ice, Will Stead. Icing called. That was interesting. Wright will return to the crease. .99 seconds left on the clock. We'd just like to see nothing silly the rest of the way here. It's been a good game. Nonetheless, Antonov collects the puck. Takes a hit from Tremblay, finds Balaz. Wright firmly staying in his goal this time. I think he's been told not to bother. He's still signalling to the bench. And there's a penalty coming here on the Dogs again. And just as I say, nothing silly, we have a scrum. 58-36. There's a penalty called here, and I think the Bees are going to get a power play advantage here to end the game. Penalties on both teams by the looks of it here now. It might just be on the Bees. I think it's on the Bees. Which is weird because the penalty was whistled down when the Dogs had the puck. So the Dogs will end the night on the power play. Dom Cabai sits 2 minutes or something at 58-36. Now we'll try 1 minute 20 of nothing silly, please, gents. Dogs win the draw. Cooper. Back to the blue line. Fired across to Bjorkley Nordstrom. Nags. Goodbye 2 for cross-checking. The puck up ice to Antonov. Antonov inside Morgan, under pressure. Gets pocket picked by Bjorkley Nordstrom. Final minute of the third. Dogs looking for goal number 9. Bjorkley Nordstrom tries to put on the highlight reel. Balaz is just brick wall stopped by Ben Morgan there. Fired across to Bjorkley Nordstrom, drops it off for Doxey. Tries to find the man in front. Tremblay down to Doxey, shot blocked by Nags. He'll push it into the corner. Kelly tries to clear. Tremblay dispossessed by Nags. Tremblay again. It looks like he's just going to hold it in the corner. Finally comes out. 15 seconds to go. Back to the blue line. Cooper. Deflected on the pass by Antonov. Down low to Tremblay. 5 seconds to go. Tremblay decides he's going to try and put on a show. Wright doesn't cover the puck up, but the whistle is blown anyway with 2 seconds left. So, the Dogs are going to skate away with the 2 points tonight. But you can't fault the battle the Bees have put up here. They've had more goals than the Bees have had players all evening. And that will do it for the third period and the game. The Steeldogs come to town, put on a show. From 3-1 down, they battled away all the way back to 6-3. The Bees tied it back up. The Steeldogs clinical in the end, and a game-winning goal and a first in the National League for Jacob Brammer puts the game to bed. Berkshire Bees 6, Sheffield Steeldogs 8. I'll stay with you for the man of the match presentations as picked by you, the viewers. So I'll have man of the matches shortly. Quick word between Jonathan Phillips and Ashley Tate there on the bench, the former Steelers teammates. Bees up in Hull tomorrow. Although with only 10 outskaters now, you do question maybe whether or not it's worth asking Streatham and Slough for the two ways to play tomorrow. Shots on goal in the third period. There were 17 on Dan Crow in the Dogs' net, 12 on Max Wright in the Bees' nets. So, man of the matches. Firstly is the Sheffield Steeldogs. Goes to Elmeri Halfors for the Dogs. Maybe not the night you wanted on the points side of things, but definite highlight reel player for the visitors this evening. Well, Sheffield fans, we hope you've enjoyed your Saturday night with us here. You are back here in the hangar on Sunday the 2nd of February. So enjoy Christmas, have a good Christmas, Happy New Year and all of that. We'll see you in a few months' time. Latest score, by the way, if you're interested, Sheffield Steelers 1, Nottingham Panthers 3 in the third. We'll have shirt off the back and man of the match for the Bees shortly. Dom Gabai's shirt off the back tonight, and he looks knackered. You can say the Bees up in Hull tomorrow. A long bus ride, a big ice pad, and potentially only 10 players. And we have man of the match for the Bees. Man of the match for the Bees goes to Marcel Balaz. I mean, you could make a case for everyone on the Bees lineup tonight. Marcel Balaz finishes 4+2 for the evening. 6.9 for the Slovak, takes him to 33 for the season. to do the compulsory signing of a hat. See if he's got the energy to throw it into the crowd. For the fans that have remained anyway. Skates to the first person in the open door. Smart move. We've watched Max Wright fail to clear the glass multiple times this year. He doesn't want to embarrass himself. Well, you can't fault the heart of the Bees side tonight. They started with 11 out skaters. They finished it with 10. And they've ran the team third in the league close for 50 minutes. They'll go again tomorrow in Hull, hopefully with a couple more bodies in the lineup before they're back here as we start December. And another Saturday night game as we welcome the Leeds Knights to town. Saturday the 7th of December, 6:30 face-off here in the hangar. And they'll want revenge for their last visit here, where the Bees beat the Knights for the first time in 3 years. I'm going to keep saying that several times next Saturday, and nobody can stop me because I'm on my own. So if you can join us here in the rink or on the stream, please do. 6:30 tomorrow, 5:45 on the stream. From me and producer Nick, thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good week. Good night.